Welcome, weebs, gamers, and nerds alike. 2025 has been an amazing year for anime, and that's even more true when it comes to the fights. Some of the best animated, choreographed, and story-important fights have come out this year, as well as some long-awaited fights fans have been waiting years for. Nothing really gets the adrenaline pumping like a jaw-dropping fight, so in today's video, we go over 10 of the best fights in anime so far in 2025. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more geek content, and without further ado, let's get into the list. Kicking off this list, we have Sung Jin-woo vs Baraka. This was the first fight of Season 2 and they kicked it off with a banger. Obviously the fight many people go with is Jin-woo's fight against Biru, and understandably so. It was very well choreographed, had some amazing music, and goddamn beautiful visuals. But I think the fight against Baraka was a very tiny sliver of an edge, as it's also the only fight that Jin-woo doesn't really get a new soldier out of the main boss. Yeah, he did get Iron, so I guess it kinda counts. This also is the first time we see Ygritte do something too, as Jin-woo's shadow, and gosh, it was such a fun fight. This was also the first time we saw other people get a glimpse of the ridiculous power that Jin-woo has, as the rest of the party hides in both terror and awe. From killing the ice elf that was talking smack to Iron smacking on the corpse, this fight pretty much had everything. It was also good to see that even with all his power, he can't summon everything he beats, which does kind of become a moot point later on. All that being said, this is a great fight that is definitely one of the defining moments from this year so far.
You die first!
Next up, we have Luffy vs Kizaru. Just leave it to One Piece to drop a season finale-like fight out of the blue. It's always exciting to see Luffy in Gear 5, as he just is the epitome of Toon Force, giving off those old school Popeye and Tom and Jerry-like vibes. And so when he fights Kizaru, who has the ability to go at the speed of light, Gear 5 has never looked so good. This is a matchup people have been waiting many years to see, and God, it did not disappoint. Toei went all out with this one, letting Luffy be as creative as possible with just how strong Kizaru is. The power in these attacks is insane, and the animation felt extremely smooth and crisp without losing any kind of intensity, as it stays full throttle the entire time, making this one of the craziest and funnest clashes One Piece has given us in a long time. Next up, we have Priscilla vs Wrath. Now everyone likes to go to the Garfield fight, and don't get me wrong, that fight is amazing, and we talked about it in an earlier video, but I feel that this fight doesn't get the love it deserves. We've seen Priscilla act very egotistical so far, and while it seems she has some power, we hadn't really seen anything to really back up her attitude. That was until her and Liliana took on the Witch of Wrath, who already showed how messed up and strong she is in the first couple episodes of Season 3. Even Reinhardt couldn't really take her down. The ballad from Liliana as Priscilla shows off her amazing swordsmanship and unique ability to survive otherwise fatal attacks by distributing the damage to an object that is precious to her was beautiful, and the message about love really strikes home as the three go back and forth before Priscilla lands the final blows. Of course, the animation is fantastic, and the choreography gives it a dance kind of feel. That this is such an exhilarating fight that stands out amongst a show absolutely kind of littered with them. Next up, we have Alicia and Royce vs Drell. Clevitas has been a surprising hit this season, and one of the main reasons it is it delivers a great story and action without taking away from its darker themes. Near the end of the season, the hero Alicia, who was brought back to life by Clevitas, is trading blows with Drell, the general of the Empire of Barat, who sold himself to a Dark Lord to become even more powerful. While Alicia isn't able to get really far on her own, it's when Royce, another general, shows up for a rematch that the fight absolutely starts to kick off. With his ice lance and her sword, they managed to do massive work on Drell. The animation is extremely impressive and the movements are downright phenomenal. And with the emotional weight of Drell being the one who killed Alicia's father, there's a lot at stake in this fight. If you haven't started watching this show yet, definitely pick it up, if not for this amazing fight alone. Now we have Knuckle Duster versus B. Now, Knuckle Duster is arguably the best character from Vigilantes so far, and both his sub and dub voice actors do an outstanding job. For the entire season, we've seen the new instant villain drug going around causing mayhem, due in large part to B, who can spread the drug through her, well, bees. So when he comes to find out that the body she's inhabiting belongs to Knuckle Duster's daughter, it makes this matchup that much more intense. And boy, does Knuckle Duster not hold anything back, throwing some mean ass haymakers as he tries to beat the bees out of his daughter, literally. The movements, animation, soundtrack, everything is top notch, and the use of onomatopoeias for this fight. And of course, every anime fan out there loves impact frames, and this time is no different. When it's all said and done, this will definitely go down as one of the better fights in My Hero as a whole. Next up, we have a rematch in Shinra vs. Burns. Fire Force Season 3 was an overall pretty solid season, but the fight that really takes the cake is the rematch between Burns and Shinra. At this point in the show, Company A has been branded as traitors, and they attempt to go rescue their captain, who was taken by the military with the help of the Whiteclads and Captain Burns. The animation in this fight is insane, and shows off the incredible talent over at David Productions. Watching Shinra put his new and improved abilities to work against the absolute brick wall that is Burns was exhilarating, as Burns goes from stage 1 all the way to stage 5 that turns him into a straight up lion. Shinra has to put everything he has into this kick, going faster than the speed of light. Of course, as customary with Fire Force, the sound design was also impeccable. There are also a lot of amazing fights down the line for this series, but as of right now, this might definitely take the cake in all of Fire Force. Speaking of creative fights, next we have Okarun and Ira versus the Musicians. Realistically, you could choose any of the big fights from Season 2 and you wouldn't be wrong, but this one really stood out to us. Okarun is wanting to get stronger, and begrudgingly, Turbo Granny decides to help him by teaching him about rhythm. Ira ends up tagging along, and by summoning spirits of famous composers, they learn the hard way to move to the tempo. The team over at Science Saru is just downright insanely creative and adapted this amazing fight from the manga beautifully. The black and white really helps the colors pop out, the choreography is insane, and seeing Okarun really learn to put his new techniques to work really adds to the impact of the fight. The music was an amazing choice, especially the callback with William Tell's Overture, which will not play because of copyright. Dawn to Dawn has almost unequivocally been one of the best adaptations of recent newer manga, and this fight goes a long way to Now we have Gaku versus Takamura. Hate on Sakamoto days all you want, but you cannot deny, especially with part 2, the animation has improved a lot, and the fights have been extremely entertaining. At this point, Gaku and Slur are infiltrating / attacking one of the JAA headquarters. That is until Old Man Takamura shows up, the ghost of the JAA, a literal boogeyman who exudes nothing but straight aura. Gaku, who has already shown he's ridiculously powerful, thinks nothing of the old geezer, but as anime has shown us, old characters are the most dangerous, and well, he's no different. The animation of the clash between the two as he mumbles to himself is crazy, not to mention him just casually, slicing not only entire hallways in the blink of an eye, but the entire building in half. Eventually the fight coincides with Sakamoto versus Slur, and things only get more insane. This is such an entertaining character, and this fight was very well adapted and a lot of fun to watch. And to round out this list, we have General Shinomiya versus Kaiju number 9. Season 2 has been the most part just okay, and it does kind of suck that it's only 11 episodes. But this fight was nonetheless not only exciting, but a huge turning point for the series' story and the ongoing fight against Kaiju number 9. By this moment, Kaiju number 9 has pretty much had his way with the Defense Force by unleashing number 10 and a bunch of Kaiju on the 3rd Division's base, to launching a new attack this season and testing out his new scheme by getting 2 of the strongest fighters and captain of the 1st Division Gen Army and Kaiju number 8 away from the general, and then launching his surprise attack. What he didn't account for was how strong Shinomiya was with Kaiju number 2. The fight wasn't long, but gosh darn it did he throw the largest haymakers possible. The animation was amazing and very creative with the yellow blasts, and it really showed off just how strong the general was, and emphasized how big of a threat number 9 can be, as it also marked really the first time a big name character died. That wraps up our list for some of the best anime fights so far in 2025. Of course, this is just our list and we left off a lot of great and impactful fights, so let us know in the comments below what your favorite fights are from this year. Check out our Twitch and TikTok for more geeky goodness. Leave a like and share if you enjoyed the video. Until the next video, keep on geeking on.